Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an opinion piece from the Washington Examiner written by Eddie Scarry, published on July 17th. Listening to health experts doesn't mean doing exactly what Democrats want, which is what they want us to do. It's the Democrats that are trying to dictate the show here. They're like, listen to the medical experts. Fauci is a deep state shitbrick at this point. He's been caught in lie after lie. He's been caught over exaggerating things. He's been caught like, oh, we can't even call it the Spanish flu anymore. This is like the outbreak in 1918 of H1N1 or influenza. That's how they say it now. It's no longer the Spanish flu because, oh no, we can't do that because of the whole, we can't call it the CCP virus. We can't call it, the China virus. We can't say it originated in China. So now they're rewriting fucking history. All right. He goes in front of Congress, and then he basically, because he's caught in his shit, goes, oh, well, I was lying back when I told Americans that it wasn't, necessary to wear masks because we needed them for the first responders and the people on the front lines, and we didn't want to take away from them. So we basically threw the people to the wolves, is what he said, to cover his ass, which makes him look like an even bigger scumbag. I mean, we should have done what Sweden did. Their deaths per 100,000 are not ridiculously higher than ours. It's like 10 people more per 100,000. And they didn't close a fucking thing down. And because they didn't, they're making the rest of the world look bad. So, let's attack Sweden. And they got the guy, the left outrage mob and legacy media got him to retract and say, I might have done things differently. Please don't threaten me anymore. Anyway, all of the annoying things Democrats have said during the pandemic. Stay home. We're in this together. Stacey Abrams is a serious contender for vice president. The worst has got to be listen to the experts. Yeah, because the experts, you look at experts coming out and saying, yeah, this is no more than, say, a seasonal flu. No worse than a seasonal flu. They get removed from YouTube. They get removed from Facebook. They get silenced because they're, in their expert medical opinion, they're going against the narrative that the left and the Democrats want out there. Joe Biden has said dozens of times, most recently in a speech on Wednesday, Mr. President, please listen to your public health experts, he pleaded in his slurry remarks. Yeah, because, it's a speech impediment. It's a stutter. What makes this particular phrase so grating isn't just its overt condescension. Why are you ignoring the science? It is that what it says is not really what Democrats mean. Well, of course it isn't what they mean. Because it was originally, we're going to flatten the curve. Well, we've more than flattened the curve. We should start reopening stuff. We should be going back to normal lives. People like grandma should be, in situations where they're not going to get exposed to this, and let everyone else who's not really at risk go back to normalcy. There's no one in charge right now who isn't listening to what health experts have to say. To listen is to pay attention, digest information, and then make decisions based on that and other factors that deserve consideration, such as the educational development of children and a rapidly deteriorating multi-trillion-dollar economy. Yeah, because you've got the Democrats going, oh, well, we can't open schools and all that. When you have the medical experts saying, well, the kids really aren't at risk, but then they're saying, to try to cover this now, they're going, well, with the way that the kid could transmit it to some grandma somewhere as their brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, friends, best friends, nephews, nieces, aunts, uncles, sister could come in contact with them after like a chain of like 65 people. It's like, the 100 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon that they're using to justify, keeping the schools closed. That's not what Democrats have in mind when they say that. No. Bye. Listen to your public health experts. What Biden and his party really means is do exactly as we say and do what Why did that move? And do what Democrats say. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Do exactly as we say. And what do Democrats say? They say no one should leave their homes until there is universal, immediate access to unlimited testing, that no business should be open without contact tracing on a national scale, and that every family should receive thousands of dollars each month in roided up unemployment benefits until those things are done. Well, that's one of the things they want, but they're also calling for the fact of the vaccine. Oh, and don't forget the vaccine. Yeah, exactly. See, they don't want things open until the vaccine. Bill Gates is giddy like a fucking school child, looking like a sociopath in every interview that he's doing about the vaccine. And, oh, it's going to surge. And he's like waiting for it. He's giddy. He's hopping in his freaking seat, literally. Okay, looking like a complete and total sociopath. And the Democrats are no different with this. And it's getting a little old. Actually, it's more than a little old at this point. It's true that health officials have warned that the more quickly states and local governments loosen their restrictions on social and economic activity, the more likely we are going to see a rise in coronavirus infections. Well, that's common sense, but they're also blowing it out of proportion. But anyway, naturally, with more infections, you might expect an increase in the death tolls. Well, yeah, but if you look, our death tolls have actually flattened. All right, that's the thing they're leaving out. Our death tolls are flattened. We've beaten the curve at this point. All right, we have ways of stopping people from dying from this. But yeah, we have to stay locked down. Our lives have to be put on hold. We have to let a summer go to completely fucking waste. Because heaven forbid you have a few people over at your house, because then the cops might show up and say, oh, you've got a gathering that you shouldn't be having, and you're getting fined, and they're getting escorted off your property and everything else. Because heaven forbid some people decide to make an adult decision and take their own health and their own safety into their own hands and decide to congregate with each other. It's ridiculous. But of course you're going to see a rise with them. Because, I mean, naturally with more infections you might expect an increase in death tolls. But our death tolls have flattened. That's why you see, like, people in an article I've already covered, you know, going through the articles I'm doing here, where Florida got caught. Someone who either did a Superman over the hood of a car or over the roof of a car or something, maybe the back of the car, but did a Superman, or they ended up flying and hugging a tree with their arms and their legs, whatever the case may be. They died from a motorcycle accident, being listed as a COVID death. And then when they got called on it, they went, well, we don't know. It might have been an influence. It might have caused the death. So what you're saying is they were so sick that they probably wouldn't have been able to ride the bike in the first place, but they got on the bike and they somehow died. So that you can keep that one. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's the type of stuff that they're doing. So, but anyway, yeah. So you might see an increase in the death toll. Like I said, we're not seeing one. But anyway, so let's continue on here. That correlation does seem to exist, but not really. If you look at it, our death toll is flattened. It also looks like there's not much to be done about it that doesn't involve allowing the economy to collapse completely, throwing tens of millions of people out of work, and stunting the growth of an entire generation of children by keeping them out of school for months on end. This is about the fact of they want to come in as the savior. So what they're looking at is they want to pin this on Trump, make it all look bad. Then in November, they're going to come back. They're going to have some miracle reason on why they could, if they were to win, and creepy, sleepy Uncle Joe's president, they're going to find some miracle fucking reason to open shit up. And they're going to go, well, look, the stories are going to be different. You're going to see how now they'll be talking about the fact of, well, we have increased numbers, but the deaths aren't increasing. Oh, well, the kids got to go back to school. They're going to do all that. Watch, if he was to win, that's exactly what they would do, because it'd be a miracle. All of a sudden, we'd be able to open up and shit like that the day he was sworn in. Because then he would be the one looking bad, keeping shit closed, and they can't have that. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, New York instituted severe lockdown measures and yet still ended up with 32,000 deaths and counting. Well, maybe that could have been the fact that they were forcing nursing homes to take infected people in when they should have been locked down so that the old people there didn't start dropping like flies. Cuomo should be up for fucking murder charges, federal fucking murder charges. The same with Whitmer, okay? And they actually, both of them, tried to say the CDC told us to do it. No, they didn't. Both of them should be up on murder charges right now. Multiple counts of murder, okay? Depraved indifference. They knew that putting those people in the homes was going to infect the elderly who were extremely susceptible to this. All right, which is why New York has the deaths that it has. They did it to inflate the numbers, and both of them should be charged with murder. That's why you have 32,000 or what was it, 35,000 deaths, 32,000 deaths and counting. That's why. Because he's a murderous scumbag piece of shit, and CNN, his brother on CNN, Fredo, had him on and was acting like his biggest fucking cheerleader while he's literally sending infected people in to kill the elderly. The guy's the world's biggest piece of shit, and his brother Fredo ain't any better. We're supposed to be pretending that niggling fact is irrelevant because now that the virus is done ravaging the state, they're seeing a lot fewer cases and deaths. Yeah, but we're ignoring the fact that most of those deaths were due to the fact that he sent infected people in to spread the disease with the elderly and should be cuffed and stuffed right now, awaiting fucking trial. Because he's an opportunistic, murderous bastard. This would be like if I got an F on my first 3 essays in English 101, but I got an A on the final one and said to everyone else, see, why aren't you doing things more like me? Which, no shit. He's trying to act like that, and he caused the death of thousands upon thousands upon thousands of elderly. Several thousand. He should be charged with every count of an elderly person who got the infection because he forced a nursing home to take in someone infected. He should be charged with every one of those murders. Whitmer, the same situation. She did the same thing. She should be charged with everyone who died's death. Depraved indifference. After 32,000 plus deaths, what else was there for the virus to do? Rob a bank? We can listen to the public health experts, sure. They see people can reduce the spread by avoiding crowds as much as possible, by wearing a mask when in closed spaces and others, and by frequent hand washing. Yeah, hand washing is like the biggest thing. Proper fucking hygiene. See, that's one of the things they leave out. What has ended most viral outbreaks in this country or around the world are things like proper hygiene. It's never really been vaccines or anything like that, because all those diseases, as a matter of historical fact, all these diseases and the outbreaks and everything were on the decline because people were actually practicing proper fucking hygiene. Proper hygiene has done more to stem disease than vaccines or like anything else medically. And they leave that out now because, you got to get your jab. Anyway, let's continue on here because we're almost done. I'm sure they're sincere when they're saying keep to yourself with almost no physical interaction with others is the safest bet. Well, yeah, they want people to be lonely. They want people to break. They want them to crack. They want to be able to manipulate them. They want to be able to hold a carrot in front of them if creepy Uncle Joe wins and get them to buy into the Democrat bullshit. But when they open things up after he becomes president, if he were to win. But that's not an option, even if Democrats insist that it is. Well, of course, and they know that. They want it now because they're trying to make Trump look bad. The second, if creepy, sleepy Uncle Joe becomes the president, we can open shit back up. Oh, don't worry about it. That will happen. Mark my words. I mean, this is some ridiculous shit how they want us to basically lock down until we have a vaccine and all this, start off flatten the curve. Then it's this, then it's that. They keep moving the goalpost. And the second, if creepy, sleepy Uncle Joe becomes president, that goalpost, it stops moving and they open shit up. It's actually going to be brought back a bit. Watch. They won't be waiting for the vaccine. They'll open up before that. But anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here.
Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.